Welcome to World of Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. In the world of coin collecting, every now and then a simple penny turns out to be a priceless treasure, and one of those legendary finds is the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent penny. What appears to be an ordinary coin from your pocket change can, in reality, be worth an incredible fortune if you know what to look for. The year 1984 may seem recent compared to older coins, but for collectors, this particular penny holds a fascinating place in American numismatic history. It's a year known for one of the most famous modern minting errors, a mistake so small that it went unnoticed by many, yet changed the value of certain coins forever. This coin, struck at the United States Mint, continues the long legacy of the Lincoln cent, which began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny carries Lincoln's profile, a portrait that has endured longer than any other coin design in U.S. history. On the front, we see the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln facing right, a symbol of integrity and leadership. His sharp features, thoughtful gaze, and elegant detail make the coin timeless and instantly recognizable, but the real story begins when you look closely, because not all 1984 pennies were created equal. Among them lies a rare and mysterious variety known as the 1984 double-ear Lincoln cent. This error occurred during the minting process when the die, the metal stamp that imprints the coin's design, struck the image of Lincoln's face more than once in a slightly misaligned position. The result? Lincoln appears to have a second earlobe beneath his regular one. This double die error is subtle but dramatic for collectors who know what to look for. It's one of those rare mistakes that instantly sets a coin apart from millions of regular ones. Most people who've seen the coin for years may have never noticed this detail. But once you see the doubling, it's impossible to unsee it. That tiny flaw transforms a 1-cent coin into a valuable piece of American minting history. The 1984 double-ear penny quickly became one of the most sought-after coins of the decade. Collectors across the country began inspecting every penny they could find, hoping to discover one of these elusive varieties. The error was first discovered by sharp-eyed collectors who noticed Lincoln's earlobe looked thicker or doubled under magnification. Since then, it has gained legendary status among coin enthusiasts. What makes it even more exciting is that this error was found across regular circulation coins, meaning it could still appear in everyday pocket change even decades later. Imagine paying for something with a penny that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The coin was minted primarily in Philadelphia, where no mint mark appears beneath the date. However, even though millions of regular 1984 pennies were struck, only a tiny fraction show the doubled ear error, making it extremely rare. The reverse of the coin continues the familiar Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo, which was used from 1959 to 2008. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a clever detail often missed by casual observers. Because of its rarity, condition plays a major role in determining the value of the 1984 penny. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are the ones that can bring staggering prices. Collectors often have these coins professionally graded and encased to preserve their quality. High-grade examples, those with perfect surfaces and sharp doubling, are worth the most. Even a small amount of wear can lower the value, but a near-perfect specimen with the doubled ear detail stands as a crown jewel in any Lincoln cent collection. Over the years, the 1984 double-ear penny has become a symbol of why collectors love the hobby so much. It reminds us that hidden treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places, even in spare change lying forgotten in a drawer. Many collectors tell stories of discovering these valuable coins purely by chance, fueling the dream that anyone, anywhere, might strike gold by simply checking their pennies. The excitement of the hunt keeps this coin alive in the minds of enthusiasts and treasure seekers. It connects everyday people to the mystery of history and the precision of minting craftsmanship. Every time someone uncovers a 1984 penny and examines Lincoln's ear under a magnifying glass, there's a spark of hope. the same feeling that drives the passion for coin collecting around the world. The coin itself is a reminder that mistakes can sometimes create masterpieces. What was once an unnoticed flaw became a celebrated feature that made the coin unforgettable. Even decades later, collectors are still thrilled by this error, and prices for high-grade examples continue to rise with time. Some of the most pristine coins have crossed auction blocks and stunned the audience with their final selling price, proof that even a humble penny can hold incredible value. The 1984 Lincoln penny stands as a story of chance, craftsmanship, and discovery. It's a reminder that every coin has a tale to tell, some worth far more than their face value. So the next time you come across a penny from 1984, don't just spend it. Take a closer look. You might be holding a coin that tells a story of error, rarity, and fortune. Among the finest and rarest examples ever found, one 1984 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $88,000. If you have any old or rare coins in your collection, tell us about them in the comments below so we can share more information about them in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and give this video a big thumbs up to join our growing community of passionate coin collectors. Top 2. The 1992 Lincoln 1-cent penny may look like an ordinary coin you've seen countless times, but what if I told you that one tiny detail could make this simple cent worth an absolute fortune? That's right. Hidden among the billions of 1992 pennies are a few extremely rare coins that can turn an everyday find into a collector's dream. To understand why this penny is so special, we first need to step back and appreciate the long history of the Lincoln cent itself. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the penny became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Its designer, Victor David Brenner, created a portrait so timeless that it still graces the penny more than a century later. The 1992 penny might seem like just another year in the Lincoln cent's long story, but it hides a rare variation that makes it stand out among millions. This secret lies not in the date or the portrait, but in the tiniest part of the design, the lettering near the rim. You see, in 1992, the U.S. Mint was preparing to update the penny's design for the coming year, 1993. That update involved a change to the close AM design on the back of the coin, where the letters A and M in the word America would be closer together. However, a few 1992 pennies were mistakenly struck with this newer reverse design meant for 1993. These are known as the famous 1992 close AM Lincoln cents, and they are among the rarest and most valuable modern pennies ever discovered. To most people, the difference is invisible at first glance. But to a collector, the spacing between those two little letters is everything, the line between a common coin and a jackpot find. When comparing a regular 1992 penny with a rare, close AM version, you'll see that on the regular one, the A and M are spaced farther apart, with a clear gap between them. But on the rare variety, the letters are so close that they nearly touch at the base. This difference happened because a few reverse dies from the 1993 design were accidentally used to strike some 1992 pennies at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That tiny oversight created one of the most fascinating minting mysteries in modern U.S. coinage. The moment collectors discovered the 1992 close AM penny, excitement spread through the numismatic community. Suddenly, every coin hunter across America began checking their 1992 pennies with a magnifying glass, hoping to find that golden mistake. But here's the catch: only a handful of these coins have ever been confirmed. That makes them astonishingly rare and highly sought after by serious collectors and investors. Finding one in your change is like winning the coin collector's lottery. Even well-worn examples can sell for thousands, while mint-condition specimens have reached prices that shock even experienced dealers. The obverse of the coin, featuring Lincoln's classic portrait, remains unchanged from earlier years, but the reverse is what holds the treasure. That close AM design marks the rare version that experts go crazy for. Most of these coins were struck in the Philadelphia and Denver mints, identified by the absence or presence of a tiny D mint mark below the date. But regardless of where they were made, the close AM variety from 1992 remains one of the hardest to find. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. The sharper and shinier your coin is, the higher its potential worth. Coins that remain in pristine mint state condition are the true treasures of the bunch. Collectors and grading experts use magnification and high-powered lighting to confirm the variety, ensuring the A and M nearly touch and the designer's initials, FG, are set slightly differently from the regular version. Over the years, auction houses have reported incredible sales of the 1992 close AM pennies. These coins consistently draw fierce bidding wars because so few examples exist, and the story behind their creation is both mysterious and fascinating. Each time one of these coins surfaces, it reminds collectors that even in modern times, rare discoveries are still possible. There's always the thrill that another close AM penny might still be out there, hidden in a forgotten coin jar or an old cash register. It's amazing to think that something as small as the space between two letters could make a 1-cent coin worth more than a luxury car. But that's the magic of numismatics, the beauty of tiny details and human imperfection. For those who enjoy searching through rolls of pennies, the 1992 close AM remains a top prize, the kind of find that turns an ordinary day into a story worth telling forever. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that most people would spend without a second thought, but you know it's worth tens of thousands because of a minting error that happened over 30 years ago. That's the power of awareness and attention to detail. These rare coins teach us something important. In every batch of billions, a few mistakes slip through, and those mistakes are what make collecting so exciting. Even after decades, the 1992 close AM penny continues to surprise and inspire new generations of collectors, keeping the hobby alive and full of mystery. Every time someone discovers another example, it renews the excitement and reminds the world that treasures can still be found in plain sight. So, the next time you pick up a handful of change, take a moment to look closer, especially at any 1992 pennies. Check those tiny letters on the back. You might just be staring at something truly special. Among the rarest and finest examples ever discovered, one 1992 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $74,000. If you have any old or rare coins in your collection, tell us about them in the comments below so we can share more information about them in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and give this video a big thumbs up to join our growing community of passionate coin collectors. Top 3. In the world of coin collecting, some of the most surprising treasures are the ones hiding in plain sight. The 1994 Lincoln 1-cent penny is one such coin, an ordinary piece of pocket change that, under the right conditions, can be worth a small fortune. This is not just a story about copper and zinc, but about history, craftsmanship, and a few mysterious minting mistakes that turned a simple penny into a collector's dream. When most people see a penny, they don't give it a second thought. But for coin enthusiasts, every date, every mint mark, and every tiny detail can make all the difference. And in 1994, something about the Lincoln cent stood out in a way that still captures the attention of collectors today. The 1994 penny continues the proud legacy of the Lincoln cent, a coin that has been in circulation since 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to honor America's beloved 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. The obverse, or front, features Lincoln's familiar portrait facing right, symbolizing wisdom and unity. But in 1994, the United States Mint was deep into the modern era of coin production. While most pennies struck that year were perfectly ordinary, a few came out differently, coins that contain striking errors and varieties that make them worth far more than their face value. At first glance, these pennies look completely normal. But under careful inspection, collectors began to find oddities, doubling in the lettering, unusual shapes in Lincoln's features, and even rare off-center strikes. These minting errors were small but powerful enough to make each affected coin unique. One of the most sought-after types from 1994 is the double die variety, where elements of the design, such as, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even Lincoln's eye, appear to have a shadow or second outline. This happens when the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly between impressions, creating a doubling effect. These double die pennies are fascinating to look at under magnification. The imperfections tell a story of precision gone slightly wrong, turning a production mishap into a collectible masterpiece. Another reason 1994 pennies gained attention is the ongoing shift in their metal composition. After 1982, pennies were made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating, which made them cheaper to produce but also more prone to damage. This difference in materials means that well-preserved examples from the 1990s are surprisingly difficult to find in perfect condition. Collectors prize 1994 pennies that have never circulated, coins that shine with their original mint luster, untouched by time or handling. Those graded in top mint state condition, especially with visible doubling, can reach remarkable values at auction. The minting locations also play a role. In 1994, pennies were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Coins from Denver bear the D mint mark under the date, while those from Philadelphia carry no mark at all. Some rare 1994 Denver pennies have appeared with striking errors, such as broad strikes, where the coin was struck without the collar, or off-center strikes, where the design appears shifted or cut off. These are incredibly rare and immediately catch the eye of collectors. Even small differences in the sharpness of Lincoln's features, the clarity of the lettering, or the texture of the fields can impact a coin's grade and value. That's why professional grading services are often used to verify the authenticity and quality of high-value 1994 pennies. Every once in a while, a pristine example appears that captures the attention of the numismatic world. Collectors marvel at its near-perfect surfaces and rich copper glow, a reminder of how even modern coins can be true works of art. The Lincoln Cents design has a simple beauty that endures through generations. The reverse still carries the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, a structure that represents the strength of American ideals. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial. Over the years, the 1994 penny has gained a quiet but steady reputation. It's not a flashy coin at first glance, but among the billions minted, a few rare and flawless examples stand out, and those are the ones that make headlines. Collectors love the thrill of searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to find that one special piece that others overlooked. The idea that a simple cent from decades ago could be worth thousands is what keeps the hobby alive, and the truth is, these treasures do exist. Rare 1994 double dies and high-grade examples have been sold for astonishing prices at auctions, proving that careful eyes and patience can truly pay off. Each of these coins carries a story, not just of minting machinery, but of human error, history, and discovery. They connect us to the artistry of coin making and the unpredictable beauty of imperfection. The fascination with coins like the 1994 penny reminds us that collecting isn't only about value. It's about curiosity, learning, and preserving a piece of America's story in metal form. When you hold a 1994 Lincoln penny, you're holding a symbol of continuity, a coin that's been part of everyday life for generations, yet still has the power to surprise and amaze. Even today, people are still finding valuable examples in old jars, drawers, and bank rolls. That's part of the excitement. You never know when your spare change could turn into something extraordinary. The next time you pick up a 1994 penny, take a close look. Study Lincoln's features, the letters, and the edges. You might spot something that others missed for decades. A double die, a minting error, or an uncirculated gem could be sitting right there in your hand, a reminder that history and fortune sometimes hide in the smallest places. Collectors across the world continue to seek out these rare varieties, and each new discovery adds another chapter to the story of the Lincoln Cent. It's a reminder that even in a modern age, rare finds still exist for those who are curious enough to look. Every coin has a journey, from the minting press to the pockets of millions, and finally, to the hands of someone who recognizes its true worth. So check your change carefully, especially your 1994 pennies. Because among them may lie one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever struck, among the finest and rarest examples ever found. One 1994 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $81,000. If you have any old or rare coins in your collection, tell us about them in the comments below so we can share more information about them in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and give this video a big thumbs up to join our growing community of passionate coin collectors. Top 4. The 1995 Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like an ordinary coin at first glance, something you'd find in your pocket or lying on a counter. But what if that little piece of copper-colored metal could be worth a fortune? That's right, some 1995 pennies have stunned collectors with their incredible rarity and hidden secrets that make them worth tens of thousands of dollars. Every coin has a story, and the 1995 penny's story begins with a twist, a minting error so small that it took collectors years to fully understand its importance. It's a reminder that in the world of coins, even the tiniest detail can make a massive difference in value. This coin continues the legacy of the Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny became an enduring tribute to one of America's greatest leaders, and the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. On the obverse, we see Lincoln's dignified profile, facing right, symbolizing strength and freedom. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1995, frame his portrait, creating a timeless design recognized across generations. The reverse side still features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. And if you look closely, right in the middle of that monument, you can spot a tiny seated figure of Lincoln himself, a hidden detail that amazes many collectors even today. But what makes the 1995 penny special isn't just its design, it's the presence of one of the most famous modern minting errors ever discovered, the 1995 double die obverse. This error transformed an ordinary penny into one of the most collectible coins of the 1990s. The term, double die, refers to a misalignment during the minting process, where the design on the die was struck twice at slightly different angles. As a result, parts of the coin's design, especially the lettering, appear to have a distinct double image. On the 1995 double die penny, the doubling is most noticeable on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." To the naked eye, it looks as though the letters have a shadow, a clear sign of the rare error. When this variety was first discovered, it caused a sensation among collectors. People everywhere began checking their 1995 pennies, hoping to find one of these fascinating double die examples. Unlike some rare coins that were never released into circulation, the 1995 double die penny was, meaning anyone, anywhere, could have one sitting unnoticed in their change. That made the search even more exciting. Even though billions of pennies were struck in 1995, only a very small number show the double die error. This extreme rarity is what drives its value and collector appeal today. Most of these coins came from the Philadelphia Mint, which produced them without a mint mark. Denver Mint versions, with a D mark, exist in huge quantities, but none are known to have the doubling, making the Philadelphia issue even more exclusive. Collectors and dealers quickly began hunting for uncirculated examples, coins that had never been used, retaining their original mint shine. These high-grade specimens became prized treasures in the coin world. The error is fascinating to study under magnification. The crisp doubling in the lettering gives it a three-dimensional effect, almost like the words are jumping off the surface. It's one of the most dramatic examples of doubling from the modern minting era. Over the years, the 1995 double die penny has remained one of the most recognizable error coins of the last few decades. Its fame grew as more collectors shared their discoveries and auction prices climbed higher. Even now, it continues to capture the imagination of coin hunters. Every time someone finds a 1995 penny, there's that spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, it's the valuable one. The error is so distinctive that it doesn't require advanced equipment to identify. A simple magnifying glass is often enough to spot the doubling clearly. Finding one in pristine condition is rare, but when it happens, the value can be truly jaw-dropping. Collectors pay a premium for coins that show strong doubling and retain their original red luster. Some examples graded by professional services as MS-67 or higher have sold for eye-popping amounts. The combination of rarity, historical appeal, and strong visual error make it one of the most popular coins in modern numismatics. Beyond its value, this coin reminds us why people love collecting. It's about discovery, the thrill of finding something extraordinary hidden among the ordinary. The 1995 penny also represents a time when minting technology was advancing rapidly, yet small human or mechanical errors still slipped through, giving us these beautiful mistakes to treasure. It's amazing to think that a simple cent, a coin most people ignore, could turn into a life-changing find for someone observant enough to notice the difference. For coin enthusiasts, the 1995 double die penny is proof that you don't need ancient or gold coins to find value. Sometimes, modern coins hold just as much mystery and potential. It continues to appear in coin magazines, online forums, and collector discussions, reminding everyone to keep an eye on their change. The story of the 1995 penny is both thrilling and educational. It teaches patience, curiosity, and the reward of careful observation. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just started looking through their old coins, this is one penny worth checking for. If you happen to come across one, Take a close look at the lettering. That tiny doubling might mean you're holding something truly remarkable, and while most 1995 pennies are worth only a cent, the rare double-die versions have achieved legendary status in the hobby. Among the finest and rarest examples ever found, one 1995 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $55,000. That if you have any old or rare coins in your collection, tell us about them in the comments below so we can share more information about them in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and give this video a big thumbs up to join our growing community of passionate coin collectors. Top 5. In 2008, the United States Mint struck one of the final coins in a historic era. The Lincoln Memorial cent. Little did collectors know that this seemingly ordinary penny would soon become one of the most talked about modern coins in American numismatic history. The 2008 Lincoln 1-cent penny, with its simple design and deep symbolism, marked the end of a chapter that had lasted for nearly 5 decades. The Lincoln cent had been a familiar sight since 1909, first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person, and what a person Lincoln was, a symbol of unity, strength, and freedom. By 2008, the coin had already seen multiple design updates, but its legacy remained strong. That year's version still featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, a design that had represented the coin since 1959. The obverse carried the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, surrounded by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2008. It was a design every American knew by heart, yet in the world of coin collecting, even something so familiar can hide extraordinary surprises. At first glance, a 2008 Lincoln penny looks like any other copper-plated zinc cent, weighing about 2.5 grams. But in numismatics, it's not always about what you see at first glance, it's about the story behind the metal, and the 2008 penny has one of those stories that collectors never forget, a story of rare varieties, minting errors, and coins that shouldn't exist but somehow slipped into circulation. One of the most fascinating things about 2008 pennies is that they were the last of the Lincoln Memorial series before the Mint transitioned to the Lincoln Bicentennial designs in 2009. That makes 2008 a key year in the Lincoln series, the symbolic closing of an era. But what truly makes some 2008 pennies stand out are the rare minting errors. Imagine holding a coin where the details are slightly off, maybe the lettering looks doubled, or the design appears shifted. These imperfections can make a huge difference in value. Collectors have discovered 2008 Lincoln pennies with dramatic die breaks, double dies, off-center strikes, and even partial collars. These small minting mistakes give each coin a unique character and an impressive value boost. Among the most famous varieties are those with doubling on the lettering, "Liberty," or "In God We Trust." These double die errors are incredibly popular because they are visible without magnification and add instant rarity. Then there are off-center strike errors, where the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting. This results in a fascinating appearance, a slightly distorted image of Lincoln, sometimes missing part of the rim or letters. Another rare find is the die crack variety, often called a cut. This occurs when a piece of the die breaks off during the minting process, leaving a raised area on the coin's surface. These are especially valuable if they occur across Lincoln's face or on the memorial. The 2008 penny also has some transitional appeal. It bridges the old and new, the final issue before the 2009 commemorative celebrating Lincoln's 200th birthday. This makes it a must-have for collectors who cherish historical transitions. Mint marks play an important role too. The 2008 pennies were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while the Denver issues carry a bold D beneath the date. Although billions of 2008 pennies were struck, only a handful possess those coveted error traits that skyrocket their value. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know what you might find. Imagine going through a handful of spare change and spotting one tiny difference that transforms a 1-cent coin into a treasure worth thousands. That's the magic of the 2008 Lincoln penny. Some collectors even report finding uncirculated rolls of 2008 pennies with coins so well preserved they shine like the day they were minted. These untouched examples can be extremely valuable in high grades. Grading plays a huge role in determining the penny's worth. Coins in mint state, especially those certified MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, are incredibly sought after. Even more valuable are those rare error specimens that combine high-grade and unique visual flaws, the perfect recipe for collector fascination. These coins often sell for far more than their face value at auctions. It's not uncommon for exceptional examples to fetch thousands, turning pocket change into profit. The 2008 penny also symbolizes the end of an artistic journey that spanned 50 years of American history, from 1959 to 2008, a tribute to Lincoln and the values he represented. Collectors love this coin for more than its rarity, they love its symbolism. It represents continuity, legacy, and the ever-evolving story of American currency. Even those without visible errors hold sentimental value because they represent the final year before a major change, something that always attracts attention in the world of numismatics. When you think about it, every 2008 Lincoln penny is a piece of living history. Millions pass through the hands of everyday Americans, from cash registers to school cafeterias, without anyone realizing some might be worth a small fortune. For modern collectors, these coins are a reminder that even in today's world, treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. It's exciting to imagine how many rare pennies are still out there, waiting to be discovered, tucked away in jars, drawers, or coin rolls. So next time you come across a 2008 penny, take a closer look. You might be holding a valuable piece of American history in your palm. Among the rarest and most pristine examples ever found, a 2008 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $45,000. If you have any old or unusual coins in your collection, share them with us in the comments so we can feature them in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, comment below, and give this video a big thumbs up to stay connected with our amazing community of coin lovers and collectors.